Hi again, Andreas. It's Tom here. Just thought I'd show you another kind of quirky dice game that I've been working on, just to get your thoughts on it. I think it might skew a little bit more complex than what you've been putting out, but I'd still love to hear your opinion and feedback on it. So what we've got here is a game called Roll Up. It's a circus-themed dice game. Combines kind of a dice auction system with a bit of push of luck, a bit of set collection, and also an area majority scoring mechanism. And it's for 2 to 4 players, plays in about 20 minutes. It's probably like a 10 to 12 plus, because it's got a few things going on. Each player gets a caravan card, 3 dice, and 11 cubes. And there's a main deck of 23 act cards and a small sideboard that represents the traveling 3-ring circus. Has spaces for your cubes, depending on what dice you roll, and at the end of the game, whoever's got the most cubes in a ring is going to score points equal to that ring's value. I'll give you a quick overview of how a turn or two works, and you can see what you think and whether it might be for you. Basically, start of a turn, you reveal the top card from the act deck, and they'll have different circus acts that you might find, like juggling, lion taming, etc. So this one, for example, is trapeze. It will tell you at the end of the game if you manage to collect 1, it's worth 3 points. If you collect 3, it's worth 18 points. But if you collect 4, it's actually going to be worth 0. So you can collect too many. Act card is then kind of up for bid, and all players with dice available, everyone starts with all 3 dice available, then roll for it to see who's going to win. So we've all rolled a 3 here. Ties are broken by the active player, which is whoever collected the last act card. So in this example, my 3 is beating these 2 3s, so I'll pass and I can re-enter the bidding later. Black then has to decide whether they'd like to roll up, which is essentially add a second dice and then either re-roll both dice or just roll the new dice and add the result. So let's do that. They've rolled a 1, so they've got a 3 and a 1, but kind of the unique thing about this system is that your dice value is actually the total of your dice times the number of dice used. So this would be a 4 times 2, so that's an 8. So you're nearly always guaranteed to take the lead if you roll a second dice. Red's then going to decide, actually it's not that appealing to me, so I will pass and they'll just sit out, and white will also sit out. This means that black's going to win this card. They'll take the act card, but they'll also have to set aside the dice that they use to win the card onto their caravan, and they won't be available in the next round. The other players will then get to decide whether they'd like to just take the dice back to the supply, or you can deploy a cube into a corresponding ring on the traveling board, but you can only do it for the highest number you roll. So if I'd rolled, for example, 2 1s, I could bank both those dice and put 2 cubes on the 1 2 space on the traveling board. So that's the way to kind of mitigate from poor rolls, is that if you roll low, you're likely to get cubes onto the board where there's points available at the end of the game. So I will do that in this example. I'll put this on the 3, and we'll say that red just takes their cube back for the next round. Black then becomes the ringmaster, and they reveal the next act card, and shuffled into the deck at random is this card called the sideshow. The sideshow is essentially a 2-for-1 round, which means you reveal the next act card, which is the juggling, and then whoever wins this round will get the juggling card plus one of the 3 act cards that were set aside at random at the start of the game. So it can be good, or it can be a double trapeze that might cause you to bust. So there is one mechanism where if you roll at any time a 7 or an 11, your dice result will not multiply. So a 7 won't become a 14 or a 21, for example. Always be a 7, but if you roll a 7 or 11, that allows you to just withdraw all your dice and not contest. And you may find that someone withdraws and that ends up leaving you to win with a measly 3, and you end up winning that card that you didn't want to win, and it causes you to bust in that sense. So there's a fair bit of unpredictability, as you expect from a dice-driven system, mixed with a lot of laughter at the table. And you play until the deck runs out, and then you calculate your score based on the sets you collected, plus any of the traveling 3-ring circus rings that you had the majority of your score. That many points. yeah, so that's how roll up works, and yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks very much.